And now for our feature presentation.
Greetings, YouTubers. Atarileaf here with another pickups video. Also, as you saw in the beginning, a preview for a new Atari 7800 homebrew called Time Salvo. That is coming soon. Imagine Robotron mixed with Exidy's Targ and throw in H.G. Wells' Time Machine movie, and you have a very interesting and unique new game. So watch for that coming soon. In the meantime, here's some crap that I bought in the last few weeks.
Okay, let's start off with some free stuff. I got these 3 books from Red, from my local game store. Red hooks me up in the past, as you've seen in some of my past videos. Great guy. Love to go in there and chat with him. He gave me these 3 books. They were from his personal collection. We've got a Winning at Pac-Man game, a Mastering Pac-Man game, and an Atari VCS strategy guide. Love these kind of books. They're a lot of fun to read. Good to have in the collection. Something interesting to read on the can, I suppose. Especially the VCS book. It's probably my favorite of the 3. Maybe I shouldn't have said that? Oh well, moving on. All right, next we've got this big lot of Atari games. Now, Red at the local game store, he had all these in a bin. Now, what they are is just really bad-shaped games with no labels or really bad labels, torn labels, things he wasn't able to really sell. So there's a lot of like 50-some games here. And he asked me if I could use them. I said, yeah, depending on the price, and I think I got them all for $10. And the stack on the left with all the chips taken out, those are going to Atari Age. I've already taken the chips out, so they're cheaper to ship. They'll be used for homebrews down the road. The stack on the right, I don't know what I'm going to do with. I'm going to give some to my friend Dan, Nintendo Bruin, he calls himself. So hopefully he can use some of those. The rest, I don't know, but it was $10, so a decent little lot. Okay, next we've got this Commodore 64 cable. Now, what this is, and I'll put a link to the site up to the page. Ray Carlson makes these, and they're kind of a saver to protect your Commodore 64. So it says right there that there's an indicator light there. If it's green, the power supply is working. If it changes red, the power supply is failing, and it will cut off the power to the Commodore 64 to protect it. So that's great. I haven't used my Commodore 64 in a while because I've been afraid my power supplies might damage them. Now I'll have a little bit of peace of mind that if I do use a power supply and it fails, my Commodore 64 won't die. Next, another little freebie from Red at the game store. Again, they're changing ownership, so they're getting rid of some stuff that they don't need. An Atari 800 XL. Didn't cost me anything. Unfortunately, all I get is a black screen. I tried swapping out some of the chips, still nothing. So my guess, and it's an uneducated guess, it might be the RAM. So I'll have to source some RAM chips. The good news is it's a fully socketed board, so it'll be easy to replace what I need to replace. So that'll have to be put on the back burner for now, but hopefully I can get it going in the future. Okay, next we have this Texas Instruments computer, a TI-99 lot. This computer cost $10, and the games were $3 each. We've got Parsec, Munchman, the Attack. Came with joysticks, the power supply, and the voice or speech synthesizer. Now again, I can't get this working, but in this case, it needs a special audio-video cable that I don't have. So it possibly could just be that. It apparently uses the same audio-video cable as the Atari computers, so if I buy one of those, hopefully that will also work for this. Okay, next, I've got 3 discs for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade for the PC. Now, I've got the big box in the picture here, but I already owned the big box version. Unfortunately, it was the 5 1/4 floppy disks that came with it, and I don't have the drive for that. So I saw this auction on eBay. Started at 99 cents for the 3 3.5-inch discs, and nobody else bid. So I won it for 99 cents plus shipping. I think it was $5 to ship the thing. So now I can play the game, and I'll just put those discs in the box with the rest. Really cool. Great game, by the way. I love those graphic adventures. Okay, next we have Road Rash 3, and again, this is a freebie from my buddy Red at the game store. Just a loose copy, but it's a great game. I enjoy the Road Rash series. 2's probably my favorite, but 3's good too. As I recall, Road Rash 3 was one of the first reviews I did years and years and years ago. I was just filming a computer screen, an emulated computer screen, but still, really fun game. Thanks again, Red, for hooking me up. All right, now here's here's an interesting one. This is called Crazy Creatures for the Nintendo. It's one of those pirate carts. I had a couple of doubles I took into a different game store, and so I had some store credit. And this was only $10, so I used my store credit to get this. It's kind of like Candy Crush. Like all these animals are jumping all over the screen, and you got to match them up to clear them. Never heard of this game before, but it's actually a lot of fun. So I was glad to pick that up. Crazy Creatures for the NES. Fun little game. All right, so we're going to move on to some Atari games now. I've mentioned before I've done purges. Now, once in a while, when you do a purge and you get rid of a bunch of stuff, you kind of regret a little bit some of the stuff you got rid of. So there's been some Atari games I've been kind of wishing I had still had. So I got these cheap. Again, game store. I think it was $3 or $4. The first one here is Space Cavern. Kind of an interesting little game. You got to shoot these aliens both from the sides and coming down at you. The graphics are great. I love the looks of the aliens. I mean, for the VCS, this was a really detailed little guys running around. Fun little game. Really like that one. Next one is Space Chase. It's a basic kind of Space Invaders, Galaxian kind of clone. Not a lot going on here. I always love the rotating planet in the background, the animation of the planet. One of the reasons I have an affinity for this game is it's a game I rented back in the early 80s from a video store. Right? You used to be able to rent Atari games. Space Chase was one. Rented it for a weekend. Kind of enjoyed it then, so I kind of have an affinity for this game, so I'm glad to have that one back. Next, we've got some Zeller's carts. I've got a few here. 3. First one's Earth Attack, and it's basically just Defender. It's the same thing. There's no difference at all. It's Defender. But I got it for the label. Take a look at that label art. What is going on? That is a hot mess. But it is a cool cover. I think it was only $4. Earth Attack. That is funky. Okay, next, Ocean City Defender. And again, this is just Atlantis. The same Atlantis from Magic. So, yeah. It's Atlantis. But again, it's a Zeller's cart. Love the cover. Pretty fun. Okay, this last Zeller's cart is Inca Gold. Now, this one is, I don't think a previous Atari game. I think it might be another rare clone. Not that Inca Gold itself is rare. But it's like a Donkey Kong kind of game. I can't figure out what's going on the screen. This one's missing the end label. It was part of the lot of those other Atari games, 50-some Atari games. But since it didn't have an end label, he gave it to me free. So it was technically a free game. Inca Gold is, it's not that good though, just to tell you the truth. But hey, free, right? Okay, lastly, we've got some boxed Atari games. And again, this was a game I wanted to reacquire. It's Vanguard. Fun game. Fun little shooter. Different levels on it. Boxed and complete. I think I got it on eBay for less than $10. So that was a good pickup, I think. All right, moving on, we have Planet Patrol. Boxed and complete. This one was also $10. Also a game that I'm reacquiring for my collection. But this one was complete. I've never had a complete boxed copy before. Great box. Yeah. Interesting game. A lot of fun. Planet Patrol. Okay, now next. The last two games here I've done videos on in the past month. The first one was Communist Mutants from Space, and this thing is sealed. Nice shooter. I did a video on. I'll do a link to the actual gameplay video that I did before, but it's got a lot of interesting little things to it. The graphics are great. So this is one of those Star Path Supercharger games. A lot of fun. Glad I picked it up. Glad to have it part of the collection. And finally, my latest review, Super Circus Atari Age. And I said in the video, I'm a huge Circus Atari fan, and this is an Atari 7800 homebrew version, or a reboot, or a remake, or an update by Bob DiCrescenzo, who is probably the best Atari 7800 homebrew programmer out there. Super Circus Atari Age is now my favorite Atari 7800 homebrew. It is fantastic. Unfortunately, it's going to be hard to get a copy because it uses what's called the Poke chip. Those chips are hard to find. They're currently only in a couple of different games like Ball Blazer. So if you want to get a copy of this game from Atari Age, you have to find yourself a Poke chip. In other words, send them in a Ball Blazer cart and they'll make you a copy, because currently they don't have any extra Poke chips. They're becoming rare as hen's teeth. So if you've got an extra Ball Blazer cart and you want this game or some of the other Poke games they've got out there, send one into Atari Age. Super Circus Atari Age is a great game. I recommend it if you can get a hold of a copy. It is a fantastic game. All right, well, that's it for the pickups. This is Atarileaf. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little pickup video. Look for Time Salvo coming soon. Have a great day, everyone.